Today, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, he's heading to the Dominican Republic as the U.S. amasses a huge military presence in this region. Hegseth will meet with the Dominican president, also the defense minister there. His trip comes a day after General Dan Kane, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, was in Trinidad and Tobago, just off the coast of Venezuela. Joining us now for more on the very latest news coming out of the Caribbean, NewsNation's Libby Dean. Libby.
Hey, Kelly, good afternoon. So really every option is on the table here for President Trump, because we're not only seeing this massive buildup of military assets in the Caribbean, those thousands of soldiers there and the biggest U.S. carrier in that region, but also now we're seeing these high-profile visits from these top Pentagon officials. As you mentioned, today, the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, headed to Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic to hold this high-profile meeting with his counterpart, and then also going to meet with the Dominican president there. All of this is going to focus on, of course, that fight against drug trafficking from the region into the United States. Now, the trip does come a day after Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman General Dan Kane. He was in Trinidad and Tobago to meet with the country's prime minister as well as U.S. troops there. And those troops, they actually aren't going to slow down this holiday season. Many being told leave over Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's actually going to be reduced. So that's the latest development there, in these high-profile visits, and the U.S. really stepping up its presence in the Caribbean comes as we know the U.S. seeks to ramp up pressure on Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. With a $50 million bounty on his head, the U.S. has set it at that, one of the highest bounties, and just being designated the leader of an alleged cartel the U.S. just deemed a foreign terrorist organization. It doesn't really make much sense here why the president has said he wants to have phone calls with Maduro, given the fact that the U.S. just designated him the leader of a alleged foreign terrorist organization. But I did ask the president about that. Let's take a listen. Why do you want to talk to him?
Say it again.
Maduro, the U.S. Designated him the leader of this foreign terrorist organization. Why do you want to talk to him if he's the leader?
If we can save lives, if we can do things the easy way, that's fine. And if we have to do it the hard way, that's fine too.
The easy way or the hard way? We've seen the hard way really playing out in the Caribbean as President Trump has directed the Pentagon to strike alleged drug boats in the region, naming the Operation Southern Spear, that being announced a couple of weeks ago. That has led to 22 boats being blown up and around 80 alleged narco-terrorists being killed so far in Operation Southern Spear. Now, as far as a phone call with Venezuelan's President Nicolas Maduro goes with President Trump, it seems to be in the planning stages. You heard that from the president yesterday speaking on Air Force One. We pressed him on if he wants to get rid of Maduro, but he answered a separate question. So we'll see what that looks like. But this is a very high-profile visit from the Secretary of War today to the region there. And we know, of course, the U.S. is building up its assets in the region as well. So really every option on the table for the president, who is at the golf club behind me today, taking meetings and hitting the golf course. Kelly.
All right, Libby Dean, keep us posted. Libby, thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.